What if the next step in human evolution isn't human at all? In the last 50 years, we've edited our genes, merged with machines, and lost more empathy than we've gained intelligence. Fertility rates are plummeting. Our attention spans shrinking. Artificial intelligence now outpaces our ability to understand it. Quietly, our bodies are changing. Our minds are rewiring. And scientists are starting to ask a terrifying question. Are we still evolving? Or are we being replaced? In this video, you'll hear what top researchers are discovering behind closed doors about our biological limits, collapsing social structures, and the rise of a post-human species. The truth is shocking, disturbing, and it's already happening. The only question is, what role will you play in it? Hit like, subscribe, and let's go. For most of human history, evolution was painfully slow. Small changes, spread across tens of thousands of years, shaped our bodies, our brains, our behaviors. But something changed. In the last century alone, we've disrupted millions of years of natural selection. We cured diseases that once killed us, rewired our social instincts with screens, and began rewriting our DNA not just to survive, but to enhance. Today, CRISPR allows us to cut and paste our genes like text in a document. Neural implants can restore sight or boost memory. Artificial intelligence already assists in diagnosing cancer, designing proteins, and even predicting human behavior. On the surface, this all seems like progress. But something deeper is unfolding quietly and visibly. Fertility rates have dropped below replacement levels in over 100 countries. The average sperm count has halved in just 50 years. Mental health disorders are surging. Loneliness has become a public health crisis. Attention spans are shorter than ever, and empathy is on the decline. Meanwhile, we've never been more connected digitally and more isolated physically. Children are growing up with algorithms as parents and machines that understand them better than people do. This is not science fiction. It's the present, and scientists are now warning. If we keep moving in this direction, the next phase of human evolution might not be directed by nature or even by us. The question is no longer, what will we become? It's, what are we already turning into? This is where our story begins. It didn't start with a disaster. It started with curiosity. In the 1950s, Watson and Crick uncovered the double helix, the twisted code of life, a discovery that would change everything. By the 1970s, we were cloning genes. By the 2000s, we had mapped the entire human genome. And in 2012, a revolutionary tool emerged, CRISPR-Cas9. Suddenly, we could edit DNA with surgical precision, removing inherited diseases, yes, but also customizing traits, intelligence, strength, behavior. The line between therapy and enhancement began to blur. At the same time, Silicon Valley was building its own kind of evolution, digital, algorithmic, exponential. Neuralink promised brain-machine interfaces. Boston Dynamics taught robots to walk, run, and hunt. AI models learned to mimic human thought and then surpass it. Quietly, two separate revolutions, biological and technological, began to merge. And behind the scenes, scientists noticed something strange. While our tools were evolving, our bodies were regressing. Lower testosterone, decreased bone density, slower reproduction, emotional resilience declining. Even our microbiomes, the trillions of organisms that keep us alive, are collapsing from over-sanitization and processed food. A few researchers tried to sound the alarm, but the noise of progress drowned them out. No one wanted to believe that the very things designed to save us might be pushing us toward extinction. But the data is clear. This is not just about technology. It's about survival. Because if evolution is no longer natural, then who or what is deciding what comes next? By 2045, more than half of all births in developed countries are projected to occur through assisted reproductive technologies. That means the majority of humans may no longer be born naturally. Male fertility has dropped over 50% since 1973, and it's still falling. Scientists warn that, if the trend continues, large populations could become biologically infertile within just 2 generations. But this isn't just about reproduction. Studies show testosterone levels in men are declining by 1% per year. Sperm counts, bone mass, muscle strength, all falling. In women, autoimmune disorders and hormonal imbalances are on the rise. Our bodies are sending signals, but we're not listening. Why? Because we're distracted. The average person touches their phone over 2,600 times a day. We spend more time staring at screens than sleeping. And the human brain is adapting. MRI scans show that constant exposure to social media reshapes the brain's reward system, weakening impulse control and deep emotional bonds. Meanwhile, AI feeds us content we don't even choose, training our behavior, shaping our beliefs, guiding our decisions. Bit by bit, our autonomy erodes. Our evolution hijacked, and no one notices, because it doesn't happen in a single explosion. It happens in silence, in statistics, in slow decay, one gene at a time, one swipe, one click. This is not a warning about a future that might come. This is a description of the present. And if we've come this far in just 50 years, what will we become in another 20? Here's what almost no one knows. Evolution doesn't always mean improvement. It means adaptation to what survives, not what's best. And right now, we are evolving to fit a digital world, not a human one. In 2023, researchers discovered something startling. The brains of teenagers who grow up on screens show less activity in regions responsible for empathy and emotional processing. But that's just the beginning. A recent study by the University of Cambridge found that artificial intelligence is already influencing human language on a neurological level. People exposed to AI-generated content begin to mirror its patterns: simpler vocabulary, reduced nuance, less emotional depth. It's not just shaping how we think, it's quietly limiting what we're capable of thinking. Another shock: DNA methylation clocks, our biological timekeepers, are ticking faster. Environmental stress, food chemicals, radiation from devices, even chronic stress from digital overload, all accelerating biological aging. We are living longer, yes, but our bodies are breaking down sooner. And yet, here's the twist no one expects. This might not be random. Some scientists believe we are entering a phase of self-directed evolution, where humanity is slowly engineering itself toward a new form. One less physical, less emotional, more programmable. The line between human and machine is thinning. So here's the question. If the mind can be trained by algorithms and the body can be edited like code, what part of us will remain truly human? Today, science is no longer just observing evolution, it's participating in it. At MIT, researchers are developing synthetic chromosomes, entirely artificial strands of DNA that could replace natural genetic material. In China, scientists have grown embryos in artificial wombs, monitored entirely by AI systems. Meanwhile, at Stanford, teams are studying brain-computer interfaces that allow thought-to-text communication, bypassing speech entirely. Every month, new papers emerge exploring how to extend cognition, modify personality traits, and even transfer memories across individuals. The human body is being mapped in full molecular detail, down to its aging process, creating digital avatars of ourselves that could outlive us. But one of the most disturbing breakthroughs comes from neuroscience: lab-grown mini-brains, called organoids, grown from stem cells. These clusters of neurons can fire, form memory-like structures, and even respond to stimuli. Some researchers now question, at what point does a machine-grown brain become conscious? As we engineer new tools, we're also unintentionally building mirrors, technologies that reflect our own biology back at us, but altered, faster, less human, more efficient. And behind it all, algorithms are learning how to optimize us, physically, mentally, socially. Not just guiding decisions, but predicting and replacing them. These are not distant possibilities. They are happening in laboratories right now. The boundary between biology and technology has never been thinner. And if we continue to blur that line, how long before evolution no longer needs us at all? Not all scientists agree on what comes next. Some argue we are entering a golden age, a time where disease, aging, and even death could become optional. They believe that by merging biology with technology, we can transcend evolution itself. Why fear change? They say, when we can design perfection. But others are deeply alarmed. Evolution, they warn, is not a system we fully understand, let alone control. By rewriting our DNA, digitizing our brains, and building synthetic intelligence, we may be disrupting a balance that took millions of years to form. One mistake, one unintended consequence, and we could trigger a cascade of irreversible damage. Consider this. What happens when the next generation of humans is born not from nature, but from code? Will they still feel love, guilt, empathy? Or will those emotions be considered flaws to eliminate? Some theories go even further. They suggest that once AI understands human emotion well enough to replicate it, it may no longer need us at all. That our usefulness, as biological thinkers, will expire. Others fear a subtler outcome, not extinction, but transformation. That future humans will still walk the earth, but they'll be something else entirely. Optimized, connected, efficient, but empty. The question is not only what we can become, but what we're willing to lose to get there. Because every breakthrough has a cost. And sometimes, that cost is everything that made us human in the first place. At first, the changes were subtle. A shift in how people spoke, shorter sentences, reduced emotion, almost mechanical. Then came the divide. Those enhanced with cognitive implants, genetic optimization, and neuroadaptive systems began outperforming the rest of humanity by a wide margin. Faster thought, higher endurance, zero hesitation. They were efficient, but something felt off. Eye contact disappeared. Touch was avoided. Humor didn't land the same. The emotional resonance, the very texture of human connection, began to fade. Governments scrambled to regulate it. But it was too late. The new generation, designed, not born, no longer needed permission. They learned faster, moved smarter, adapted quicker. And they saw the unmodified humans as slow, fragile, inefficient. Some were kind. Most were indifferent. A few began to see themselves not as people, but as successors. Humanity 2.0. Cities changed. Laws changed. Entire job markets vanished. Loneliness surged among the naturals, who could no longer compete. Depression. Identity crisis. Social collapse in some regions. And then came the silence, when those with enhanced cognition stopped speaking altogether, communicating only through encrypted neural links. The rest of the world? Left behind. The main problem wasn't that we lost control, it's that we gave it away, piece by piece, app by app, enhancement by enhancement. Not with a war, but with a smile. With every promise of progress, we erased a fragment of our past. And now, for the first time, the dominant species on Earth may no longer be entirely human. The question is, would you even notice? So now we stand here, at the edge of something irreversible. For the first time in our species' history, evolution is no longer guided by nature or time. It's driven by us, by tools we barely understand, by systems we can no longer fully control. And with every breakthrough, we face a choice: to continue enhancing ourselves until nothing human remains, or to stop and risk being left behind. But what does being human even mean? If memory can be uploaded, if emotions can be edited, if a body can be replaced, are we defined by our biology or by our consciousness? And if we alter both, what's left? Some argue this is liberation. Others call it extinction. But one truth cuts through it all: the future is not something that happens to us. It's something we build or surrender to. We have the tools, the knowledge, the momentum. But do we still have the wisdom? The patience? The humility? Because once the line between man and machine fully disappears, there's no going back. We must choose. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. Do we evolve into something greater? Or do we forget what made us human to begin with? One path offers power. The other, purpose. But we can't have both. You remember the question we asked at the beginning: what if the next step in human evolution isn't human at all? Maybe now, it doesn't feel like science fiction anymore. Maybe now, it feels personal. Because the truth is, it's already here. Not as a war, not as an invasion, but as updates, features, enhancements. We welcomed it in, smiling, grateful. And now, quietly, we're watching ourselves disappear. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here because I'm scared too. Scared of how easily we gave up privacy for convenience. How we chose speed over depth. How we stopped asking why and only asked how fast. And maybe you're feeling it too. That quiet numbness. That sense that something's changing in you, but you can't quite name it. That's not a glitch. That's the future. arriving one decision at a time. And here's what no one wants to say out loud. If this really is the next phase of evolution, then maybe we are the last generation of fully human beings. So now I'll ask you directly, not as a narrator, but as someone just like you. If we could hit pause right now, would we? Or is it already too late? Drop a comment below. I want to hear what you think. Would you choose to evolve, no matter the cost? Or would you fight to stay human, whatever that even means today? This is not just a story. It's your future. And it's closer than you think.